everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to move on to the next topic of ours, wherein we will be discussing something very different from what we have already discussed. अभी तक हम लोग इंग्लिश में कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स कर चुके हैं जो कहीं ना कहीं आपने पहले करे हुए थे, right? Somewhere or the other you've already solved those questions or they were easy for you to solve, right? Now we are moving to a bit difficult topic as per the students जिसके क्वेश्चन समझ नहीं आते हैं या as per the students जो थोड़ा सा tricky topic है, we are going to take that topic today, right? So today, as the name itself suggests, we are going to talk about inferences, right? अभी तक जो मैंने आपसे डिस्कस करा था उसमें हमने कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं करा जिसमें हमें अंडरस्टैंडिंग की बहुत ज़्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट थी, wherein you had to read in between the lines. We did not do anything wherein you had to read in between the lines. But inference is such a topic जहाँ पे you will be reading in between the lines, right? So let's just start. So starting with what is inference? Let's just see. So as I've already said that you have to read in between the lines. What do we mean by reading in between the lines? See, जब भी हम कुछ पढ़ते हैं, right? उसमें एक तो हमें चीज़ें directly समझ आती हैं, right? There are certain things which we have to comprehend, right? So whenever you're reading beyond what is written and you're trying to understand the scenario, that is what is an inference. Right? Now, reading in between the lines, for example, although the town's factory was shut down, the local economy improved over the next 2 years. अब या तो हम प्रॉब्लम को समझे पहले या हम डायरेक्टली कंक्लूजन पे आ जाए, राइट? वो हम कर नहीं सकते. So we will have to understand the issue, right? Then we'll have to move ahead. So although, first thing first, although जो हमें ये बताता है, this is such an indicator that tells us that this statement has something contrary to say, right? Or contradiction is mentioned there in the statement, right? So here, although the town's factory was shut down, the local economy improved over the next 2 years. राइट? अब क्वेश्चन कह रहा है कि टाउन में देयर इज दिस फैक्ट्री व्हिच वाज शट डाउन, राइट? एंड द लोकल इकोनॉमी of that town or the local economy improved over the next 2 years. अब ये कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट्स नहीं है. अगर एक फैक्ट्री जो है वो क्लोज हुई है कहीं पे, राइट, तो वहां पे तो इकोनॉमी पे कोई ना कोई इम्पैक्ट तो होना चाहिए और इम्पैक्ट नेगेटिव होना चाहिए, राइट? बट यहाँ पे इम्पैक्ट क्या हुआ? पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट आया है. देयर हैज बीन अ ग्रोथ, राइट? सो यहाँ पे देखते हैं, देयर हैज बीन एन इम्प्रूवमेंट. सो व्हाट कैन बी इन्फर्ड फ्रॉम द स्टेटमेंट अबव? लेट्स सी व्हाट कैन बी इन्फर्ड. नंबर 1, द टाउन डिपेंडेड इंटायरली ऑन द फैक्ट्री. इंटायरली का मतलब कि पूरा टाउन जो था इट वॉज डिपेंडेंट ऑन द फैक्ट्री समवेयर और द अदर. अगर ऐसा होता तो क्या इंप्रूवमेंट होती इकोनॉमी में? आई डोंट थिंक सो, राइट? सो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट तो पक्का ही हमारा आंसर नहीं है. कम टू द सेकेंड वन, द टाउन्स रेजिडेंट्स लेफ्ट आफ्टर द फैक्ट्री क्लोज्ड. ठीक है, अगर रेजिडेंट्स दे लेफ्ट, right, they left the town and they went somewhere else, तो इकोनॉमी तो नीचे जानी चाहिए बट इकोनॉमी तो ग्रो हो गई. so this will also not be correct, right? Now the local economy was resilient and diversified. Let's just keep it for later, right? Come to option D. The economy declined before the factory closed. राइट? ये कहता कि इकोनॉमी जो थी वो ऑलरेडी डिक्लाइन हो गई थी बिफोर द फैक्ट्री क्लोज्ड. ठीक है, तो इकोनॉमी पहले कैसी थी इसके बारे में तो हमने कहीं पे बात नहीं करी, राइट? इसके बारे में तो हमने कहीं पे बात नहीं करी. Hence, this will also not be the answer because we don't have a supporting detail for it. right? The only option that is left with us is that the local economy was resilient and diversified. ठीक है, resilient का मतलब that it was able to bear the shock of this particular factory being closed, right? Moreover, diversified का मतलब that it was not only reliant on one single factory for its growth, right? Or even for its existence, right? Hence the answer will be C. Diversified है तो अगर एक जगह से लॉस हुआ तो दूसरी जगह से तो कहीं ना कहीं इंप्रूवमेंट आ रही है. This is what we believe, and that is how C will be the correct answer. I believe this is clear. So now, in the process of making a guess about something you don't know. So in inference, what you do is you usually make a guess about something, right? And how do you make a guess about something? See, ऐसे तो मैं कुछ और guess कर रही हूँ. My friend might be guessing something else. Or if there are 100 people, they might be guessing 100 other things, right? But here you have to see that in the process of making a guess about something you don't know for sure, based on the information available to you, we use previous knowledge acquired, right? We use previous knowledge acquired along with information from the text to draw conclusions and make judgment and interpret what is going to be next. Right? So a fair guess of yours, right? That is what an inference will be. And as I always tell my students that an inference is always inside of the reader. It is always in you, right? So this you need to understand कि inference हमेशा आप पे depend करता है कि आप कैसे situation को पढ़ रहे हो. Only thing that you need to understand here is that आपको जब भी situation को समझना है या situation को पढ़ना है, you have to read it in such a manner that you don't miss out on the important words. For example, यहाँ पे word important था although, right? Again, the word important here was entirely in the options, resilient, diversified, right? So this is what you guys need to understand कि जब भी हम लोग इन्फ्रेंस की बात कर रहे हैं या जब भी हम इन जनरल भी इंग्लिश की बात करते हैं, so the keywords become very important for us, right? Now let's just move ahead. Now what are the types of inferences that we have, right? What are the types of inferences? And they have given all the important examples for it, right? Some important examples are already here for you to understand that what kind of inferences can be drawn. Number one, we have logical inference. What is a logical inference and what are logics? Logic is something that satisfies your understanding or something that satisfies the usual course of being of a thing, right? So now, logical inference, a conclusion drawn logically from the facts or statements given in the text, right? So this is what a logical inference is all about. Now, for example, the road was wet and the people carried umbrellas. Why will the road be wet? How can the road be wet? Maybe because a tanker was leaking, right? बहुत probable answer है. But why will the people carry umbrellas if the tanker was leaking, right? So the only answer here that we can think of is it probably rained. So यहाँ पे word probably क्यों use हुआ है? Because we don't know 100% कि was it rain or something else, right? But we guessed, right? And while we are guessing, we have to keep that probability alive, right? Hence, it probably rained. Now let's just come to the next one, which is the second one, emotional inferences. Now what are emotional inferences? Basically, the understanding of feelings or emotional state of a character or a narrator based on tone or action. This is what emotional inference is all about, right? She clenched her fist and stormed out of the room. So what is important for us? Stormed is important. Clenched is important, right? So this shows an emotion. This shows an extreme emotion, right? So why will she clench her fist? Maybe because she is going to punch someone, right? And why will she storm out of the room? Maybe because she is in a hurry or maybe because she is way too angry. But we have to understand that she has also clenched her fist, which means that this word and this word together means that she was angry or she was upset about something. I hope that is clear to everyone. Now, let's just move on to the third one. The third one is a predictive inference. Now, the word itself is very clear, no? Predictive. Predictive का क्या मतलब होता है? Predictive का मतलब कि आप कुछ future के बारे में बता रहे हो, or you are trying to forebode, or you are trying to foretell something. ठीक है? तो making a guess about what might happen next based on the current information. ठीक है, कि in future क्या हो सकता है, right? Based on that, you are going to tell about the future, right? About the future you're going to tell just by reading the present information. So Tom studied all night for the exam. ठीक है, टॉम ने पूरी रात पढ़ाई करी for the exam. So what can you tell about Tom's performance in the exam? See, according to me, there can be many inferences out of it. One can be that Tom did not study earlier, that is why he's studying at the end, right? But here we have to predict his future. We're not going to justify what he did earlier. We have to predict his future, right? So prediction यहाँ क्या होगी? Tom is likely to perform well. Likely again probability की बात करता है, right? Nowhere in the statement has it been mentioned कि अगर वो पूरी रात पढ़े तो उसका एग्जाम का रिजल्ट भी अच्छा आएगा, right? So we have mentioned the probability that Tom is likely to perform well on the exam, right? I hope that is clear to everyone, right? Now moving ahead to the next thing, that is character inferences. Now what is a character and how can you understand about the character of a being? So here you need to understand that character is nothing but the physical and the other attributes of an individual's personality, right? For example, the traits, the motives or intentions of the characters based on their words or actions is what a character inference is all about, right? So let's see. Even though he lost the game, now what's important for us? Even though he lost the game, Ravi congratulated the winner with a smile. So first part of the sentence says that चाहे वो हार गया, which is a very grave situation for one person who has lost, right? वो हार गया, but still he congratulated the winner with a big smile, right? So here, Ravi is a good sports person or is gracious in defeat. This is what we understand about Ravi. That he did not feel bad about his losing the game. Rather, he was supportive enough for the other person that he went up to congratulate the other person, right? So this is what you need to understand. Now, the third one is a causal inference. What is a causal inference? See, causal inference is nothing but the cause and effect relationship between the present and what is going to be in the future. So understanding why something happened or what it might lead to is what causal inference is all about. So अगर हम ये समझते हैं कि क्यों कोई चीज हुई, या हम ये समझते हैं कि what it might lead to, या फिर इसका क्या result हो सकता है, that is all that we have to see in causal inferences. I hope that is clear. So now, while I talk about causal inference, I need to understand that because the store was closed, she had to go back home without groceries, right? So while the store was closed, she had to go back home without groceries. Just because. अब यहाँ पे word क्या use हुआ? Because. Because क्या होता है? किसी चीज का reason होता है, right? या किसी चीज का cause होता है, right? And उसका effect क्या हुआ? That she had to go back home, right? So that is how we work on cause and effect. Or that is how we try to understand the relationship. Now, the store being closed caused her to leave empty-handed. ये तो हमें समझ आ गया. Just because जो store था वो बंद था, उसको खाली हाथ घर जाना पड़ा. This is the most probable inference that you can draw out of the situation, right? I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we'll be moving ahead and we will be discussing the next inference, which is author's perspective or bias inferences. And I am telling you guys, these days such kind of questions are very easily seen or repeatedly seen in most of the exams. Right? Now, author's perspective or biased inferences. Right? So you have to understand the author's attitude. अब ऑथर के एटीट्यूड को हम टोन भी कहते हैं, राइट? हिज ओपिनियन और हिज बायस बेस्ड ऑन द लैंग्वेज विच ही यूजेस, राइट? सो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें यहाँ पे आपके लिए क्या होंगी? ऑथर के वर्ड्स. ऑथर के वर्ड्स में जिस तरह के एडजेक्टिव्स, जिस तरह के एडवर्ब्स यूज करे गए हैं, वहां से आप समझ जाते हो कि व्हाट माइट द ऑथर बी थिंकिंग और द वे ही माइट बी रिएक्टिंग टू द सिचुएशन. राइट? चलो देखें फिर. सो द सो कॉल्ड रिफॉर्म्स हैव डन मोर हार्म देन गुड. राइट? अब यूजेज ऑफ द वर्ड सो कॉल्ड रिफॉर्म्स. सो कॉल्ड रिफॉर्म्स मतलब something negative, right? So called reforms have done more harm than good. So now the author disapproves of the reforms, right? That is why he is calling them so called, right? Moreover, have done more harm than they have done good. This is what the author's attitude is towards what he is thinking about or he is talking about, right? So here we get to know that this is what the author is saying, that he is disapproving the reforms. I hope that is clear to everyone, that he is just trying to disapprove the reforms. Now moving ahead to generalization inferences. Now what do we mean by generalization? We all tend to make such inferences, right? We all tend to make such inferences. Generalization होती क्या है? जहाँ पे हम एक छोटे set of population या एक छोटे से event से बाकी सब चीज़ों को जनरलाइज करते हैं या बाकी सब चीजों के बारे में इन्फ्रेंस निकालते हैं, राइट? सो लेट अस सी. सो ड्राइंग अ ब्रॉड कंक्लूजन बेस्ड ऑन स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट इज व्हाट जनरलाइजेशन इन्फ्रेंस इज ऑल अबाउट. जहां पे एक छोटी सी पॉपुलेशन लेके हमने बहुत ज्यादा चीजों के बारे में एक कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ करा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लेट्स से आई एम अ पर्सन, आई एम अ गर्ल हु लाइक्स टू अनटाई हर हेयर. I don't like my hair tied up, right? So, what inference can a person who generalizes a lot will make? He will say that the girls don't like to tie their hair just by looking at one simple example of me, right? So here you guys need to understand that generalization mein what we tend to do is we tend to focus on only one aspect, or we tend to frame our entire conclusion on one aspect. So देखें यहाँ पे, every student, every word is very important for us, who took the mock test improved their scores in the finals. ठीक है? तो हमने कहा कि हर एक बच्चे ने जिसने मॉक टेस्ट दिया उसका जो स्कोर है वो फाइनल्स में इम्प्रूव हो गया. So what have we generalized? We have generalized that taking mock test helps in improving performance. राइट? हमने ये तो देखा नहीं ना किन स्टूडेंट्स का. देयर माइट बी स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने मॉक टेस्ट, देयर माइट बी अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम दीज जिनके मॉक टेस्ट भी दिए जिन्होंने फिर भी स्कोर इंप्रूव नहीं हुआ, राइट? सो दिस इज अ जनरलाइजेशन इन्फ्रेंस. बट येस, ऑफ कोर्स ये बिल्कुल सही इन्फ्रेंस है यहाँ पे. व्हाई? बिकॉज द सपोर्टिंग डिटेल्स है दैट एवरी स्टूडेंट, हर स्टूडेंट का, राइट? आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. Now, next is connecting inference. What are connecting inferences? See, connection का मतलब होता है links, right? तो जहाँ पे आपके जो conclusions है, they are driven by the links in between what is being said, right? That is what connecting inference is all about. So the linking ideas, they are known as connecting inferences, right? Now, making connections between different parts of a passage, right? To understand the bigger picture. So we all know that हम जब कुछ पढ़ रहे होते हैं, right? Whenever we are solving questions related to CLAT, तो one thing that we see is बहुत लंबे passages, right? Wherein we have passages of 3 to 4 paragraphs, right? तो अब उन paragraphs के बीच में जब भी हमें एक connection draw करना है और उससे inference निकालना है, usually we use linking ideas, right? So now making connections between different parts of a passage to understand the bigger picture. So the town's population has decreased. Several factories closed last year. ये फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ का, लेट्स से फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ को जब हमने पैराफ्रेज करा, this is what we paraphrased, and the second paragraph, this is what we could paraphrase. So the town's population has decreased. Several factories had closed last year. So हम क्या ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं यहाँ से कि just because the factories have closed, right, now the town's population is going down. Why? People might be migrating to some other place for employment. Right? So let's see. The factory's closure might have, again might have अगर यहाँ ना होता तो शायद ये conclusion गलत हो सकता था. But just because यहाँ might have है तो here we are not saying it in the strict sense. We are making a clear path for some sort of probability, and that is why the factory closure might have led to the population decline becomes the correct inference here. Right? I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, moving ahead to the next one, which is cultural or contextual inference. Now, what is a cultural inference? What is a contextual inference is what we need to understand. सबसे पहले तो cultural क्या होता है? किस तरह का inference होगा? Next, contextual inference. Right? Cultural inference का मैं एक छोटा सा example दूंगी. Islamophobia. What is Islamophobia? Islamophobia is the fear of people belonging to Islam, right, or professing Islam, right? तो हम यहाँ पे क्या inference draw कर रहे हैं? That every person who belongs to Islam should be feared of, right? We should be fearful of people who belong to Islam. So what are we doing here? This is a contextual inference that we are drawing. Moreover, we are generalizing here, right? In the similar manner, we have something known as contextual inferences. Contextual inferences are based on the context of what we are talking about, right? For example, understanding meaning through social or cultural contexts, right? This is what we need to understand. For example, he bowed before entering the temple. So bowing before the temple means that he might be respecting the temple, or he might be the one who worships in a temple or who understands the sanctity of a temple, right? So he is showing respect, possibly following a culture or a religious norm. This is what we can simply comprehend after reading it, right? I hope all these are clear to you. There's no doubt in it. Now let's just quickly go through it once again. I'll just give you a quick revision of it. So first thing first, in the first slide, I explained you guys what is an inference. An inference is always in the reader, that is in you, and it is nothing but a simple conclusion that you draw out of what is written in the text, right? And one thing which you guys need to remember, that an inference can never be, number one, a direct line or a direct sentence from the text. A direct sentence rewritten indirectly. Anything not related to the context. Anything which finds no contextual, no supporting clues in the text, right? So these four things you need to remember, that an inference can never be something which is a direct sentence in the text. Why? Because inference is something unsaid, right? तो अगर वो already बोल ही दिया passage में, तो वो inference कैसे रहा? वो inference नहीं होगा, राइट. सेकेंडली, कोई भी डायरेक्ट सेंटेंस जिसको हम थोड़ा सा मोल्ड करके इनडायरेक्टली लिख देते, इवन दैट कैन नेवर बी an inference. Then anything which is not related to the context can simply be eliminated. Why? Because it will never be your inference. And lastly, anything which finds no support or clue in the text, right? That is what we need to remember, and that is what we need to understand. I hope that is clear to everyone. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now, moving ahead, we need to understand the types again. We'll be going through the types once again. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is the types of inferences. So the very first type of inference is a logical inference. Now, what is a logical inference? A logical inference is nothing but a conclusion drawn logically from the facts or statements given in the text. So जहाँ पे आपके logics, right, satisfy कर रहे हैं to the facts and the statements, that is what a logical inference is. Next we have is an emotional inference. What is an emotional inference? Wherein the emotions that have been portrayed or which have been mentioned here as per the tone or action of the author here narrate the character of a person is what we understand from emotional inferences, right? So जो भी हम draw कर सकते हैं from the tone of the passage or from the emotions that have been exhibited in the passage is what is an emotional inference. I hope that is clear. Then moving ahead, we need to understand that what are predictive inferences. Predictive inferences are nothing but present situation, present condition को देख के जो हम future के बारे में बता सकते हैं. Foreboding, foretelling, that too with logics and that too with the support of the present details is what predictive inference is all about. Then, what is a character inference? Character inference means deducing traits, motives or intentions of characters based on their words or actions. Right? Then, even though he lost the game, Ravi congratulated the winner with a smile. Right? So, this is what it is. Then, the next one is a causal inference. What is a causal inference? Which helps in understanding the cause and effect relationship between two things. So, understanding why something happened or what it might lead to. That is what the main purpose of a causal inference is. Right? Then, the next one. Author's perspective or bias, the most important for all of us. Author's perspective is nothing but author's views on what he's talking about or his biased opinions about something. Understanding the author's attitude, opinion or bias based on the language that he uses, right? Next, generalization inferences. We all are pro at it. We all generalize somewhere or the other. But what are inferences? When we tend to take a small population in order to tell about a large thing, right? So this is what it is. So drawing broad conclusions based on specific information. This is what generalization inference is all about. Now, connecting inference. Connecting inference, as the name itself suggests, linking. Right? So whenever we are solving sentences, whenever we are solving passages, we try to do this only. We are trying to link the passages, the paragraphs, right, within the passage. So first paragraph, let's say, talks about the 1857 revolt. The second talks about the freedom fighters, and moving ahead, it talks about how the nationalist tendencies aggravated, and later on the last paragraph talks about 1947. So here we are trying to understand the freedom struggle, right? So here we are trying to understand the freedom struggle, and that is what we can infer out of the connecting links. I hope that is clear. I've just given you an example to understand, right? Last but not the least, we have cultural or contextual inference, जिसका main काम होता है कि cultural या contextual clues जो है उन्हें draw करना. I hope that is clear for everyone. Now, so yeah, that was it. In the end, I would just like to say, अगर कुछ नहीं समझ आया है, please write it down in the chat box if you have any doubts related to any videos which we've already posted. इससे पुरानी भी है तो भी, इस video से related है वो भी, right? I will be more than glad to answer you back, right? And to clear all your doubts. So with this, we'll end the class here. Yes, of course, in the next class, we will be discussing the previous year questions based on inferences itself. Right? So with this, I'll end the class and hope you do well. Bye-bye. Take care.